This is the garden party, and we want a garden party with you. We'll talk about the plants we grow and some things you might not know. The garden party. What is going on, everybody? It is another Wednesday live here on the garden party. I am Destin Nowak, Texas Garden Guide, coming to you live from just south of Houston, Texas. It wouldn't be a garden party if I didn't buffer.
But there it is,
dude. It's almost a part of the podcast now that I have to buffer every time we do this. If I get good internet finally, it's going to be weird.
Absolutely, it's normal.
Happy to see y'all hopping in the chat already tonight. Make sure that you drop your gardening questions down below. Tonight's going to be a special. I didn't book anybody, so ask us anything. So you can ask us all your gardening questions, and we're going to do our best to answer as many questions as humanly possible without me chat GPTing it. Phil, what's going on, dude? Phil's Figs.
What up, everybody? It's your favorite plant parent, regular parent, on his favorite show of the week. I'm drinking life out of a fire hose right now, trying to get figs to grow, trying to get my jobs to go well. And well, I'm not trying, it's going well. But and then Phil's Figs, he's like, it's springtime, things are coming to life, and I just want to be here sooner. And I know I gotta wait because it was such a long winter. But yeah, I'm going for it.
Do or do not, there is no try, Phil. A wise man once said that.
I love it.
I love it.
There is no try. Some guy named Doya or Yoda. That's it, Yoda. Yeah, that's what it was. Some frog.
Yes.
Yeah. And we have our resident hippie in the house. What's going on, Des? How you doing?
Hello, I'm good. I've been digging in the dirt. Y'all have been seeing it if you've been looking at my videos. I literally have been putting in the hardest work out in the garden. And Destin is going to come and be in the garden this weekend, and he's going to see the mess I have made. And honestly,
I'm not digging anything.
Oh no, you're not digging a darn thing when you no way.
He just shows up and you leave and you're like, why are there 7 plumerias here?
Right.
Look at all these desert roses. It's like he just sprinkles them as it goes to people's gardens.
I love it.
Oh my God.
I literally, just as I got on the podcast too, it started raining. And my garden, my vegetable garden is fully uncontained dirt. So that stuff is going to get rained on, and hopefully we don't have so much rain that it runs off into the yard, because that would be terrible. But it's fine. We're doing it.
It's all fine.
It's fine. This is fine.
Exactly.
Oh my God. Well, I'm glad you're on. I'm happy to see you this weekend. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Austin in forever. It's been a long time. I've got family in LaGrange, or I did. Most of them are gone now. But I got a lot. I had a lot of family in LaGrange. So that's about as far as I get towards that way. But I've been in San Antonio a lot lately, and so now I got to make it to Austin. And then I think we have confirmed that we're going to do something at Smith's Garden Town in May, the last weekend in May. Phil can't make it. We haven't started promoting it yet because we haven't come up with a name yet. And I've been so dang busy trying to come up with some of that. So we will be coming north as well. But that'll be the last weekend in May, like the weekend after Labor Day. Is that what it is?
Memorial Day.
Memorial Day, the weekend after Memorial Day. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to plan to be there. I mean, it's only a 6-hour drive for me. No big deal.
Well,
that's like a Texas commute, right?
Yeah.
Dude, it's like 3 hours anywhere, dude. I mean, it's like y'all driving to from Pennsylvania to New York. It's like how far is Philadelphia? It's like New York
to New York City.
Yeah,
like an hour and a half, hour.
Oh wait, it's way closer.
Yeah, it's not that far.
Yeah,
everything is so close.
It's like, I mean, you have the megatropolis that is DC to Boston, right? And so in between it, you have DC, Baltimore, Wilmington, Delaware. Then you have Philadelphia, and you Trenton, New Jersey, and then you have and then you hit Newark, New Jersey, which is part of New York City. You hit all of that. You have Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts. It's all just boosh.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got Craig's in the chat. What's going on, Craig? How you doing, dude? Blue Sage.
But if I were to leave Wilmington, North Carolina, and drive 5.5 hours, so 6 hours roughly, right? I would hit Washington, D.C. on the border of Maryland. So, and I'm in southern North Carolina. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
That's
awesome.
awesome.
I think from my house to Smith's Garden Town, which is north of Wichita Falls, something like 6
Not far though. Yeah.
From Houston.
Mm-hmm.
So this is pretty wild.
If it's just me and I'm pedal to the metal and I'm going from Austin to Wichita Falls and I will leave like early in the morning. I can make it 4.5 hours.
You're not pedal to the metal? I see you get in the car. And look, hey, whoever's listening, she's got this sweet new whip. She's got the new Mav.
I do.
Ford Maverick, things killer, right?
Yeah.
And it's always pedal to the metal in that whip.
I love that thing. I love my car. We just
I thought about getting one. I haven't pulled the trigger yet on a truck yet, so
we just literally before the podcast, Jeremy and I went and loaded up 12 10-foot 2 by 6 by 10-foot boards in that thing, plus pavers and some rebar, and put a little flag on the back of that thing and just hauled it to the house.
Like, ain't nothing but a thing. Boom.
Ain't nothing but a thing. And we did it half electric all the way home.
There you go.
Yeah,
a hybrid, if you will.
Phil knows all about being half electric. Phil knows all about being half electric.
I mean, getting halfway with my
guy on his
Phil was half electric, half Uber.
I was the audacity that I tried to pull with my electric vehicle was pretty rough. If you ever talk to my wife, if you ever talk to my wife, he's like, "Oh, of course he did that."
Yeah,
I was like, because I go, my brain sometimes go to like everything's figure outable, and then it was like, but do we have the time to figure it out, Phil? And that is the key.
I love it.
God.
I love it.
All right. Well, let's get some questions, guys. I know we had some stuff here. I saw a comment, you mentioned it earlier right for the pod. Des, why are you the roly-poly assassin now? What's going on with that?
Oh yeah, Des is just she's got it. It's an issue though, and you have to deal with it, Des.
It's really bad.
Address it. Give us some backstory and let us know what's going on with this.
Okay, so first of all, I have a cucumber bed and I seeded that thing. I've seeded it like 3 times, and because we haven't had a lot of rain, I did not realize I had a roly-poly problem on the level that I have it right now. It is the most infested I have ever seen in my life. And I've dealt with roly-polies. Like for my tomato plants, when I first plant them, I'll put a little diatomaceous earth around the tomato plant and it'll protect the stem from them chewing through it while the plant is getting established. And once it reaches a certain point, it's no big deal. They don't care, you know? But yesterday morning, I went outside. It was early. And I noticed there were thousands of roly-polies in this garden bed, and they were eating these bean plants I had transplanted from one bed to another. And they were going literally top down eating these suckers. And I was like, this is the perfect opportunity for me to show how destructive roly-polies can be in your garden. Like, they're excellent composters. They do a great job at breaking down organic material in your garden beds, in your compost pile, rotting wood, things like that. I love them, as we all do, because they're kind of cute, but they're being so destructive in my garden right now. So I set a beer trap for them, and I meant to take a little video of what it looks like today, because it really works, and it's not cute. It's not my favorite thing. It's not my favorite thing out there right now, but they are destroying my garden.
Right.
And people are so upset about me being like, no, we got to get rid of these roly-polies. You don't understand.
The good news is roly-polies are not endangered species.
Yeah, they're not endangered.
I could probably resupply if every other place in the world the roly-polies went extinct, I could shake one pot in my backyard and resupply the entire world with roly-polies.
Exactly.
Really?
Dude, when I open my composter, it's all roly-polies. Like, I have had Like, and I don't have much damage. I don't get much damage at all from them. As the good thing, like Des was saying, they're really good at breaking stuff down. And as long as they have plenty of compost, like carbonaceous material to break down, they're not really going to mess with your stuff. They may go with like the tender stuff. That's why I transplant. Direct seeding stuff, you're probably going to have some issues. I've got some snow peas. I actually got these magnolia blossom peas. I ordered 2 packs of them. The peas are coming up, and I was worried about it. Luckily, they're not messing with it, but I use a lot of compost. I use a lot of chunky compost in my raised beds, and so I think there's plenty of material to keep them busy.
Well, I'll also say this is the very first time that I actually also caught them eating the seeds. They were eating through the coating on the bean seed and eating the seed itself. And it's the first time I've ever seen that happen. Yes. I was flabbergasted, to be honest. I mean, I know that they do that. I've known that they've done that for a very long time. Every year I'll like put a little video out about like, hey, be careful about these roly-polies with your tomato plants. And then I'll do like put DE around there or whatever. But this was, I couldn't pass this up. And people are like losing their minds.
Yeah.
They're like, what? Why are you getting rid of them? They're so good. Put them in a terrarium. I'm like, guys, I don't want pet roly-polies.
Unless they're those rubber duckies, they're like $50.
Yeah,
a piece.
Those guys are super cute.
So I know we pulled this up in the past, but they have like rubber ducky roly-polies and panda ones. They pay like $25 a piece, like on the internet. It's pretty wild.
How long do they live for?
I don't know.
I doubt that. There's no way they live that long.
Yeah, people were like, put more bird baths, put more, bird houses, get a toad house, like get lizards. I'm like, guys, my yard is filthy with lizards. It's filthy with like birds, and I have bird baths everywhere. I have a pond. I have frogs out there. This is just the most infested I've ever seen.
Is it like, did you just go to like, I did this in my lawn where I had like those little, they're not actually mimosas, but those little weeds that look like mimosa trees coming up. And I just, because they'll sprout for like a whole spring, I just went through my yard and just plucked them for like an hour. Is it possible if you would just sit down and just like go to town and just pluck them all up, or would they replace themselves the next day?
No way.
Because
they ball up.
Yeah, well, and what you see at the top is just it's like an iceberg. If you see them at the top, dude, they burrow into the ground, dude. So like her doing a beer trap probably didn't do much.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna you know what? I've decided I'm gonna put one every few feet in there. So probably like 4 on each side of that garden bed. And I'm just gonna do that for a little bit. I use Modelo. I love Modelo. It's one of my favorite beers for the summer, but it's also a good roly-poly beer because it's not very expensive, but it does do a great job. So anyway.
Oh, Laverne from Brunswick County. That's near me.
A big question, man. Is it
big question?
Hi from New Brunswick County, North Carolina, or not?
So Brunswick County. So I'm in New Hanover County, Wilmington. Brunswick County is the next county over. Adjacent to Wilmington to the west or the southwest, and then Pender County is to the north of us. So, and then on either side of New Hanover, it's just the Atlantic Ocean and the Cape Fear River. So yeah, Brunswick County, Laverne, you can certainly plant your fig tree. Go for it, because you know what? Our last freeze date is April 1st. Some would say April 15th, but even it's like frost. I'm saying April 1st. Our forecast looks awesome, so go for it. Laverne, if you plant,
she has prune, not plant.
Oh, prune. I'm sorry. Depends how much it's sprouted, but I would just do it this week if you can, and it'll recover just fine. So go for it. Sorry about that clarification. Yeah, Laverne, go ahead and prune that thing. You don't want to wait too long because I know some of my in-ground celestes are breaking bud now, but go ahead and go for that. And prune away.
That's a good question. What got us into gardening? Des, I think I've told my story before, about me coming out of the military and kind of not knowing what I wanted to do. Phil has kind of talked about him, like, getting started like on his back porch in his apartment. Like, I don't know.
Like when I was a kid, I mean, it was in my family group, in my genes a little bit. Like I grew up having a garden and I lived in
You had a
Amish
garden
country.
in your jeans?
Yeah. Have you ever heard of gene gardening?
Keep them high and tight.
It's a vertical planting method that is for tight spaces. Listen, yeah, I think I always
Love
grew up
it.
with a garden. I'm trying to riff with that. I grew up with a garden, and I think what really set me onto it definitely was after doing my Italian genealogy thing with the figs, like that, and then the figs was like, well, if I'm going to grow a fig tree, like might as well grow all this other space, and then and it just went from there. But sorry, Des, I jumped in, but go for it. I want to hear your background too.
No, I love it. I actually don't think I've even heard your story about how you got into gardening.
I mean,
Go ahead,
so I had a great conversation with my dad this past weekend. He came over, and my grandmother's dad, so my great grandfather, Carlo Baselli, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, had an amazing garden. And this is the garden that my dad talks about walking through as a kid, where he had a salt shaker in his pocket and would grab a tomato and just eat it like that, right? With some salt. And so my great grandfather Baselli, made everything. He had an apple tree with 4 types of apples grafted onto it. And it ripened.
How do you spell that? Vaselli.
Baselli. Boselli. Baselli.
That's the most Italian first name I've ever heard in my life.
That's his last name. Carlos is first name.
Oh, even better. Even better.
Carlo Baselli.
I love it.
And so he grew some grapes, made wine, canned tomatoes for like the wintertime, like a lot of the traditional Italian American things he would do. But the apple tree, he always talked about grafting 4 different varieties on. He talked about the fig tree and the ceremonious wrapping that you do up north. And we kind of always just thought about that in the back of our mind when we garden. And then conversely, like on the other side, my mom comes from like a long lineage of like there's farmers in the lineage, but like she's a daughter of the Revolution. So like the first Germans that came to Pennsylvania in like 1690, and they lived out in, I call it Pennsylvania now, because it's in the middle between Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, right? And they got through a lot of long, hard winters, but like out there, they farmed as well. And so like there's kind of farming everywhere if you look back far enough in all of us. But those are the roots of mine. And so where I grew up, it was just I grew up all around farms, and like my neighborhood used to be a farm and was a development. And then we had 3 farms all around us. And then those farms were pretty chill. Like they were the farms that put like a coffee can out with a slit in it and put their little produce on the front. And so like I grew up with that on the honor system, and same with our pumpkins. And so that was the kind of environment I grew up around, just by going and living in cities. But like when we went to cities, like you kind of missed it subconsciously. And so all of a sudden, we had this little garden space, and I was like, wait, I can garden here. And so that set me on the path. Grad school was a big inflection point because it was a huge piece of my mental health, was to garden, and after collecting figs. And so because I could get lost there for hours and I called it defragmenting my brain. If I absorbed a lot of stuff, it would help me parcel it out and pack it away, organize it. So gardening's been there for me as well. And now I have my own yard, and I'm like, of course I'm going to build this out. And here I am.
Yeah, I love it. It's a beautiful story.
Thanks.
Absolutely. A couple of notes. The beer traps are good for snails and slugs too. I have seen that, right? On the beer traps.
Yes, they are.
I've seen that.
And I do use, last year I had a really bad slug and snail problem, and I did use beer traps for them, and it worked. It did work. The main thing is that you have to fill that beer up to the brim of the container and like bury it level with the soil surface.
Oh,
they get so
crawl right
in. Fall in.
Yeah, or they just they drown too. They like the smell of that stuff.
Let's see. Can I start my corn seeds indoors in cell blocks, like in the jail? MKP, are you coming from the cell block? I think he's talking about seed starting tree. Y'all saw the video. I did mine in soil blocks. Corn typically does not. Yeah, corn does not typically transplant well. So I figured I thought maybe trying it out in soil blocks, since there's no transplanting, it's just planting them, might do okay. We'll see. It might be stunted. We'll see how that works out.
They also do best planted in 10 by 10 rows. So like a
They want to
square.
be close. Yeah, they want to be
close to
close.
each other, like 10 plants by 10 plants square.
Yeah, the
if
tassels
possible.
are like paintbrushes. They want to touch each other to pollinate.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's see. Oh, someone caught the video of Plumeria Papa. We gotta get him back on as
Yes.
Oh, yeah, cool.
well. I see a question about access. Good, Des. Sorry.
No, go for it.
No, well, I was gonna between the stories, I was gonna pop in some questions here. It says, "What is
My
the best
accidental crop? My first, I not this year, but in years past, was definitely potatoes. Where I'm like into the composter, and they're like fat chance, and they were like boom, you know. I had 20 potato plants.
Dude, I have sweet potatoes coming out of my compost right now. They're growing already out of my compost.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's crazy. That's like my kale that I ripped up from this winter. I was like, go away. And it's like, no, keep me. And so it's coming back up with the compost.
My best accidental crop was cucumbers once. In my grandmother's front flower bed, I did guerrilla gardening, and she was so mad about it because she had like one little flower box and then these like bushes along the front of the house. And it was like the giant English or Russian cucumber. They were like huge, foot-long cucumbers, and we were like pulling those suckers out of there forever. And she said, no more cucumbers.
Never again.
Ooh,
no.
But we had so many pounds of cucumbers.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. We're doing some rapid fire questions now. Destin, plumeria issue. I cut back my plumeria about 3 weeks ago. Now it's not growing. All right. When I pruned mine back in the late fall, I did it too late. You want to prune your plumerias in like the middle of growing season. You're probably going to have dieback. Hopefully it recovers, but you're probably going to have some dieback. And I've got a couple where about 6 to 8 inches, I've got dieback and then new growth is coming. And you can just prune that. You can just prune that off. But you want your tropical stuff, you want to prune it when it's in the growing season. You don't want to wait till when it's dormant, like the plumerias and the adeniums. Wait till they are put on full growth or in full growing, because they're conserving.
So don't do it now.
Wait till they're putting out. Wait till they're fully leaved out.
Growth. Okay.
Yes.
Then okay,
yes.
That's good to know.
Because right now they're holding in all the energy until they start putting out new growth, and they need to harvest some energy before you start pruning so they can heal themselves. So that's
great to know.
Yeah, you want to wait to like middle of summer. And same thing with like hibiscuses. Oh my God, if you prune and propagate hibiscuses in the middle of summer, they do great. Pomegranates are the same way. If you're going to prune and propagate a pomegranate, do it in the middle of summer. Let's see. Have you ever used banana fertilizer? I'm assuming they're talking about like the rotten, nasty banana peels in the jars. Y'all see those videos?
Don't do that. Don't do it.
It's so gross. It's so gross. It's a 5 minute.
I've fertilized my bananas in a very organic way.
And also, you know what? If you really want a crop of fruit flies, go ahead and dump that banana peel water in something.
Yeah. What do you
Don't do it.
Are you dumping buckets of turds out there on your bananas? What are you doing, Phil?
I'm just peeing on them.
Oh, okay. I saw
a little bit and raise the pH.
I saw a video of a guy in Florida. He takes like his fish heads and fish like skeletons, and he freezes them until he builds up a nice stock, and then he digs like a 2-foot hole and then buries it. That could be a good thing and a bad thing if you got like rats and stuff and vermin, because I think we talked about that with Vikram one time. And rats and stuff will be attracted to that. You can I'm not saying don't do stuff like that, but I mean you're gonna have to deal with the consequences like when it comes to like vermin and stuff afterwards.
Oh, absolutely. I mean I've heard like people have like these magic stories about like I buried this fish underneath this fig tree and it turned into the best fig tree of all time, things like that. But not at the risk of getting vermin and stuff, because they'll chew through fig wood for sure. But
Phil's family is like, you want to plant a salami underneath your fig tree and it's gonna grow huge.
Oh man, there is folklore stuff where it's like hopping on hopping on 1 foot and on a Tuesday and like that's when you plant your fig tree. My dad always saw we call it to this day. I grew up, we still call it the onion snow in Pennsylvania. And it's just we get that rogue snowstorm. It's like a flurry, it's like some sort of snow shower, and they're like, after that, that's your onion snow. plant your onions. Go.
So smart. I love it. I love old like family stuff like that.
Yeah.
Hey Phil, I really want to plant a fig tree in my large yard that will fruit this year. What size of plant and specimen would you recommend for North Texas had the highest yield? First, this is probably her first time fig, Phil. What would you recommend?
Ooh, first time
Middle,
fig.
middle of a yard, full sun, in North Texas gets pretty chilly and windy.
Oh, then she's got to get the Hardy Chicago. In that family. So it's a Mount Etna family. Or so Hardy Chicago, it's an easy find. Marseille Black is another great one. Norella is another great option. These all have similar characteristics that are all in that like I call them club lobes leaves. They're a little more round, but they can die back to the ground. They come back with vigor. They can grow as a tree. So they can handle that full sun, those larger temperature swings where it gets really cold. It can bounce back and handle full sun in the summer. So try one of those, I think, and it'll do well for you. If not, I think Celeste will do fine. Those are very intro varieties. I'm sure there's hundreds out there that I could help you with, but the higher end ones require a little more care. And if you're looking to get started, the best tasting beginner variety is those Mount Etna varieties that I mentioned, like Hardy Chicago too.
What is the must-have garden tool? They're not snippers or a shovel. I would say, I mean, mine are my snippers, my Felcos. I can't go. I don't go out.
Awesome.
I don't go outside with my Felcos, but if we can't use Felcos, I'm going to say my broad fork is my new favorite garden tool. Broad fork is a game changer, and you do broad forking because you don't want to till. And I had someone comment on a video talking crap about how bad broad forking is, and I'm like, listen, lady, Jesus. I was like, what do you want me to do? You know, I gotta loosen the soil somehow, and it's not doing any damage unless I hit a freaking gopher with the broad fork. Like, I'm not doing any damage to the soil. Chill out.
Yeah.
It's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay.
People are very serious about their soil microbiome.
Yeah.
My favorite gardening tool that I cannot live without is the Hori Hori. Period.
Oh, you took it out.
The
Yeah,
bare
agreed.
bones Hori Hori is the best tool. It's got a bottle opener. It's got a twine cutter. It's got an inch marks. It's got a serrated edge. It's got a sharp edge. It's got
a bottle opener.
And even on the other end, it has like a steel part on it on the bare bones Hori Hori, so you can hammer in stakes, which I do all the time in the garden because I have picket fencing up to keep the dog out of the pollinator gardens and things. So that one is my preferred brand, not sponsored, preferred brand, favorite tool, 10 out of 10, best you can get on the market, in my opinion. I can't live without it.
That's the bare bones one you said?
Yeah, the bare bones Hori Hori Ultimate is the one I have. It comes with like, I think it comes with like a sheath for it. But I also have like all their stuff. They have a Japanese weeding tool, a hand tool that is my second can't live without garden
Japanese garden tools are where it's at. Japanese garden tools are the best, especially like if you're looking for like long handled garden, like not long handled like 36 inches long, like long handled like 18-inch long. I like the hand shovels, but they're like the long handle, 18 inches. Those are my favorite. Phil, what is your go-to? Like you can't walk out the door without it.
It's the first, so because I have my table in the greenhouse. But if it's not my pruners, it's definitely, I have a Hori Hori knife too that my brother got me a few years ago. Mine's by Skyhaven, and it's a nice custom one, but it has all those things you mentioned. It has the measurements too for like 6 inches, and I can just use it everywhere.
It slices through anything.
Yeah. And so
the slap chop,
is
this a slap chop, or what are we talking about here? Y'all remember the slap chop? Is that little?
Yes. Yes.
The guy with the headset, he's like, look, you can do anything. Next thing, go.
Yeah. It's like that. It is a multi-use tool.
Yes.
It's just easy. It's great to dig a hole with. And then it's like, it loosens anything up if I need to move stuff with my hands. But if I had anything different as a plant nursery, I love my for like stakes and my stake tie tool where I can like wrap the stake ties around, and it's got this like clip and all of a sudden, am I saying it right? It's like the tape. the tape dispensing tool.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
What is that called?
It's
What is
called
that
a tapener. It's called a
A
tapener.
tapener. Yeah, tapener or a tapener.
I've got one. I probably haven't used it in 2 years, just because it's so wasteful with the freaking plastic.
It is
man.
wasteful with plastic, but it is good for trees.
I use like, it looks like this, but it's like reusable wire that's wrapped in rubber. Because whenever I'm doing my trees, because I'll cut them like 3-4 inches long, and when I undo them, I'll just set them in like a bucket, and then I have a bunch of them to reuse. They don't really rust out. I would go with that. I want to show this because it's really freaking cool, and I want one if someone wants to buy it from me. That way, my wife won't get mad at me when I buy it. But it's from Never Sink Farms, and they make a short version and a long handle, but it's an interchangeable head little hand tool. It's got a weeder. Awesome. It's got like a little chuck, like for like an impact, here. And
is it stainless?
Yes. Yeah. And they make a long handle one, so you can swap. You can swap out the heads.
Wow.
But I mean, it's pretty cool. You just keep the little things on the carabiner and swap them out as you go.
That's awesome.
I really like their tools. They also have the long version of it. Let me show y'all this, because this one, because it has like the weeding, like the little fancy for weeding, like if you're in ground. So I think that's a really cool concept. And they have a million, even like a 3-headed piece. That's pretty slick. I like that a lot, actually. I may have to buy myself one for Christmas.
Hey, sometimes you got to treat yourself.
But also that razor from the Mindful Farmer, that little multi-tool he's got tool. I use it a lot in the garden. Someone was asking what my favorite weeding tool is. I use that in the garden a lot. It's really nice for grabbing weeds and stuff. Someone says I like my Hori knife. I think Keith said it was his birthday. Happy birthday! He'll be 43 on Monday. Happy birthday, Keith.
Keith, happy birthday, man.
Let's see. Someone was asking about how often do you water a desert rose seedling. It depends on what kind of soil you got them in. I grow my seedlings in like a desert and cactus soil, so it drains really quick. So I'm hitting mine a couple times a week. Just make sure that soil drains out completely.
Yes.
Let's see.
I was trying to find.
Let's see. Someone's asking the favorite favorite material for tying veggies to stakes: Velcro tape, green vanilla tape. What's green vanilla tape? I wonder if they typed that right. I like that wire I was talking about.
Velcro tape. I bet they were trying to say the green Velcro tape.
Yeah. The Velcro tape's nice. It's reusable too. Have you used that, Phil?
I have everything. I have like the cacophony in my supply box underneath my desk in the greenhouse. So I use whatever I can get my hands on, but I'm still working through like a giant green spool of twine. And so that's what I use for all the tomatoes and stuff. Unless I have that tool that I was talking about that I can't remember for the life of me. I know it's wasteful, but I have so many I have so many fig trees that it's easy to go 1, 2, 3 next, 1, 2, 3 next.
Oh, for you, it would make sense to do it.
But that's what I would use. And then when my tomatoes get really tall, I use that too.
Yeah, I agree. This is the one. This is the triangle. It's a triangle hoe from Bare Bones.
What'd you call me?
But this is their triangle hand hoe. That's my favorite gardening tool for moving a lot of dirt and weeding with. I actually did a video about this the other day because it has a really sharp blade on there, but then the points on each side of it make it really easy to like dig underneath these weeds.
Who did the artwork for the background? So I actually that's a Chat GPT.
Dustin is the king.
Can we look at that? Because I didn't realize I was in the photo, and then I was like, "Oh my gosh!
Oh my god!
That's our picture."
Here,
look at us, guys.
Cute we are.
So I took a picture we took whenever Phil.
Can we get stickers of these?
I think
I want a shirt.
I think I kind of have to at this point.
That is amazing.
Dude, Chat GPT makes all my flyers and stuff like that. Really so I finally got down to like work because when you use the free version, you can only do like 2 or 3 a day. But if you pay $20 a month, you can use it as much as you want. and modify as many times as you want. And so I would love it for thumbnails and stuff because like I think that is such a freaking cool thumbnail for us, and it would make a really good sticker. And the other one was really good too. The other one was really cool. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
I really like this one because it's got like the figs and the hibiscus and the
This
zinnias
is
in
just
the background and
oh my gosh, I have to have this blown up, dude.
the squirrel, us three little cuties.
Oh, this was my first
I
time.
love this one too.
This one is like, what did I eat before bed to have this dream?
This is what my dreams look like.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't dream like this? Uh-oh.
I was trying to find something. I was like, it's just gonna be us. So what should I type in? And I was like, squirrel in the background, and I was like, yeah, this is what
squirrel, clouds, butterflies. It's
for
so
some
good.
reason they always make figs look weird on Chat GPT. I don't know, like the outside, the inside looks great, but the outside looks weird. You know,
I was thinking the inside was giving me weird feelings, but it's fine.
It's accurate.
They still have the Will Smith spaghetti syndrome.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, the background is pretty slick. I think that might have to be our new logo and definitely needs to be a sticker. Vinyl Bandits, if you're listening, this will be coming to you probably tomorrow.
I love it.
And I'm bringing stickers to this weekend. I got a bunch of stuff to bring. If you're coming to Austin, if you're coming to the Austin meetup, I'm going to share this real quick while we're talking about it. I'm driving to Austin Friday morning to go to this. A guy came to Figtoberfest. His name's Jake, and he had come to another kind of thing too as well. But he invited me to come out to Austin, and I never get out that way, so it made sense to go. And plus, I'll do anything with the veterans. I'm an Air Force vet, so anytime I can go do a thing for veterans, I'll do it. And this is like a plant. They call them their Plant Fest. I'll share the link as well. But it's over there. Is it Barton Springs? Is where it's close to, Des? It's Barton Springs.
Do you know what? I like to fly by the seat of my pants, so I didn't even look at it on the map yet.
Yeah, it says Oak Hills. I mean, so like I figured...
Oak Hill, yeah, that's out towards like West Austin.
Oh, here we go. Here's the map. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's sort of in like West Austin, but
yeah,
it's a great area out there.
But
unless you're a gardener, and then there's like too much limestone, but it's fine.
Right. Well, there's always containers for that. There's always containers. Yes. But it's gonna be a good time. They're gonna plant swap. They're gonna have some raffles and stuff like that, and it supports a good cause. So I'm excited to be out there. It'll be from 10 to 2. Me and Des are gonna make our rounds. I was planning on trying to do something at the Great Outdoors, but it got too close to the time, like to the Friday, and I didn't want to half ass it. So I was like, let's just do something like later on this year maybe. But we are gonna go do a tour on Friday at 11. If anyone else, hey, me and Des are going to be at the Great Outdoors on Friday at 11 a.m. If you're there, you can come along with us and do a tour and check out the nursery. So if you're there, come on by. But we're not planning anything formal. If you just want to come hang out, if you can't make it Saturday and you want to come hang out with me and Des, maybe go grab lunch or something. But we will be there at the Great Outdoors. It's going to be fun. So. Nice. Yes. So that is hence all the psychedelic stuff. I'll be in Austin this weekend.
Yeah, he thinks that the only people that live here are hippies.
No, that's not true.
There are others.
It's just way more hippie than Houston. Like Houston is very like oil town. You know what I mean? Like it's
for sure.
It's like white collar. And
Listen,
Austin
you're
feels
not wrong.
like it's
We're full of hippies. We're filthy with them. What do you mean?
And I do want to go to East Austin Succulents too. I've been window shopping on their Instagram page. And I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. So, but there will be a plant swap at that meetup on Saturday too. So save some money, bring some plants if you want, and we'll be doing some swapping. So we wish Phil could be there.
Good too.
Oh, and I think and Kelsey and Brick are going to be there too.
Yes.
Kelsey's Garden and What Brick Grows is going to be there. So that's going to be awesome.
The Native Plant Society will be there. The Texas Master Gardeners will be there. The Central Texas Master Gardeners will be there. The Central Texas Food Bank, I believe, will be there. It's going to be really a great turnout.
Central Texas Mycological Society?
Yes, they will be there as well. And my friend on Instagram, New Garden Road, if you follow him, he is also a gardener here in the Austin area. He will be at that table, so I'm excited to see him. He's a fantastic gardener, and he's a great garden educator too.
Yeah.
So
And I'll have Fast Garden Guy shirts. I have some pomerias, maybe some other stuff for sale. I don't know. I'm gonna probably raid my greenhouse and see what I can fit in the back of my truck tomorrow and pack it all up and see. But I'll have I don't know if y'all saw my new succulent blend of soil. I've been using like bonsai soil and succulent soil for a while, and I was like, why don't I make my own mix? And so I did some research and I started making my own soil mix, like for like succulents and cactus and bonsai and stuff like that. And so I mixed
cool.
I mixed some batches up and I'm gonna bring them with me. So I'll have some to sell on there too. So it's gonna be a good time.
Awesome.
Yeah. So and then
it is gonna be a good time.
And I'll type in Dez's address because we'll be there Friday night in the hot tub drinking beer. Oh, you got rid of your hot tub.
Oh, we got rid of the hot tub. It's not here anymore. We had to. It was like bad. Oh my gosh. And that was a fiasco. Let me tell you. Okay. Can I tell this little story?
Yes.
We had this hot tub. We inherited this hot tub with this house, right? This hot tub was from the 90s, and it was baller back in the day. We had to replace the motherboard when we moved in because it went out, right? And then we had to replace the blower and all this stuff. But then the cabinet just started to kind of fall apart. And eventually it just kept blowing the fuse. And we were like, we're not going to do this anymore because it was still too warm here through the winter to even really enjoy it in the wintertime. And so mostly we wanted to use it as a swimming pool, but then it was hard to keep the water cold enough in there. So it just didn't work out. So we hired this guy to come out and get it for $350, right? And he comes.
I can already tell where this is gonna go. I can already tell this is gonna go.
He comes with this one dude, and I'm like, I've got both of our boat gates blocked. I have no idea how they're gonna get this hot tub out of here, And he was like, do you want me to unhook the electrical box for it and everything? I was like, yeah, go ahead and do it. Just whatever it takes. So they put this like bladder thing underneath the hot tub and they start to fill it with air, but they were not paying attention when they did this. Okay. And my hose bib was behind that hot tub and they busted it. And so it was crazy. They were like, oh no, we messed up because they didn't take the lid off. And so they ended up getting it upright with this bladder, and then they put it on this big hot tub dolly, and they took it out of the yard vertically, and they tied back my giant vitex trees to get it out through this skinny fence. They did a great job of that part. But then unfortunately, this poor guy had to call out a plumber, and they had to cut holes in our siding to replace the entire pipe for the hose bib and everything because they literally pinched it and busted it. It was so bad, but now I have excellent water pressure out my water hose.
I can't even imagine what a plumber in Austin costs. I don't even want to know. Because
honestly, it was an emergency job too. Yeah. It was, so they paid a lot. So we gave him $350 and then he paid for the plumber to come out in an emergency and fix it.
He lost money and then he had to go pay to dispose of that. So he's out like $300. He's out as much as you paid him.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It was,
oh my God.
I felt so bad for him too, because he was like, don't worry about it. We're going to pay for it. But the little young guy he brought with him, his employee was getting a Southern tongue lashing. I felt so bad for that kid. I was like, Jeremy.
He was just chewing him out in front of you like that?
Yes. He was just like, I can't get on out. You weren't even paying attention. I can't believe it. You should have been paying attention. I was like, oh man, I feel bad. But it was gone. And now I just have this vast empty space on the patio and I keep trying to figure out what I want to do with it. And I don't know what I want to do with it yet.
I was going to say, you ought to do some rolling beds. So Vigo,
I think I'm going to actually.
So Vigo has some new beds. So I've got one of them already. It's rounder, but they came out with some more square ones that roll, and that might be a cool spot for like some leafy greens. You can maybe roll around, put them in a shadier spot, like when it gets real hot.
I was thinking maybe even my citrus trees.
Yeah,
because I have a shade cloth there. And I was also thinking maybe I'll put like some vertical planter boxes on that wall there, so I could have them like a little more protected under the shade there. And then
or a new koi pond area.
Oh my God, that koi! You're gonna die when you see that koi pond too. Lord, I need to hit the lottery, friends.
Oh my god. Let's see. Oh, bow ties in the chat. He already he's already talking. He's already talking mess about you killing roly-polies.
Yeah, he was getting on me. He was like, "Boy, my YouTube comment section."
Someone's asking about. Let's see. What is a good indoor fruit or veggie to grow, not hydroponic, simple style? A lot
Green
of
onions.
fruits. Yeah, I mean, you could just a lot of fruits and
Lettuce.
veggies need like I don't know.
They need specialized grow lights.
And you need pollination to grow to pollinate like some stuff too, you know?
Dwarf tomatoes, micro tomatoes. You can actually grow them. You just need to have a little vibrating toothbrush or something to pollinate the flowers.
Yeah.
Seriously, I have one that has a little bee on it. And yeah, I know Dustin's got the jokes loaded, but that's how I pollinate my hydroponic tomato plants that I have, which I'm about to take those out and put them into my
You have a toothbrush, a bee attachment for pollination?
I literally bought it and it has a little bee on the end. Seriously, you can find it on Amazon.
You're spending way too much time on Amazon.
That's it, dude.
No,
where is this thing? And have I not seen this on the internet going viral,
dude? Oh my gosh. If I have not, it's on the internet. I'll have to tag you in it. I posted it. Or I'll send it to you later. But
oh my god.
I'll definitely send you a picture. If it were not all the way downstairs, I would go and get it right now.
Oh, by the way, Phil,
yeah, that's what you do.
Phil, you should be receiving a care package probably this week.
Me?
You got shipped out yesterday.
Stop.
And Des, you have a care package hand delivered.
It's gonna be him.
I didn't want to pay for shipping, so I'm just gonna deliver it by hand.
I'm just gonna. He's like, I'm gonna deliver myself.
It's me. He just drives it. He just like hops out of the mail truck.
I love it. I'm really excited. There are several nurseries that if we have time to, I would love to take you to here that have been around for a while. Tillery Street plants are like attached to East Austin Succulents as well. Tillery Street Plant Co. Anyway, they're a big nursery. They have a lot of tropicals and stuff too. So you will like them.
Well, and I know native and drought tolerant is pretty popular in Austin. You know, I know it's big on native stuff as well. So it was funny because like I reached out to the Great Outdoors and like, hey, what kind of class do you want to teach? And I'll like, or what kind of talk you want to do? And I was like, well, I mostly do like backyard gardening and like, you know, tropical stuff. And the girl was like, I'd like you to do a perennial and native and then like talk about composting. And I was like, she started naming, so I was like everything. I was like, not an expert at that, not an expert at that. I was like, I could do raised bed gardening and we can talk about some stuff to compost, but I'm a lazy composter, which is apparently becoming a popular. It's becoming kind of popular to be a lazy composter. But compost is complex. Compost is not just as simple as you know, fill it and turn it. I mean,
I send mine off to the city.
Yeah. Well, and I have the little kitchen one that dehydrates and grinds, and then I add it to my compost.
Yeah,
that's what I kind of do.
Oh, you do? Oh, nice. That fancy one?
I got gifted one, and I use that like all of our kitchen scraps that aren't like meat, dairy, you know, fish, like oils. You don't want oils, dairy, anything like that. So it's like coffee, and I also get all my coffee grounds from work. I put those straight into the composter, but like any like orange peels, eggshells, you know, stuff like that, we compost in that little composter. It does. If they call it a composter, it's not a composter. It just dehydrates and grinds. It's a pre-compost, is what they call it.
What do they call it? Oh yeah, pre-compost.
Yeah.
My brain blipped out. I did see Jamie Hinman has a really great question over there.
Yes. What's y'all's favorite veggie pairs or trifecta to grow together? Any favorite veggie herb combos? That's a complicated question because like there's a difference between like I guess planting stuff in the same bed and companion planting. I don't necessarily companion plant, but because I have a small space, I plant a lot of stuff together just in general. But like, you know, like what is y'all's favorite thing? I mean, I know I got an idea. I know what Phil's is, but you know, what are your favorite duos or trios, Phil?
Oh man, tomatoes and basil, right? Is that what you're gonna say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
so I
would.
guess
Yeah,
I was gonna
tomatoes and
guess that.
basil. And then I interplant like green onions everywhere I can. It's really nice
Mm-hmm.
because they're easy to grow and they help kind of deter things. And um, I really,
Same.
really enjoy planting those as well.
I saw Farmer Froberg planting his watermelons. Was it his watermelons or his squash right next to his
His
corn?
watermelons with his
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
corn. Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw that.
Yes.
I guess because maybe the I don't know. I forget
He said
why. Just
he
basics.
said he actually said that the corn will help to serve as a windbreak for the squash plants so they don't drop their blooms,
Yeah, that makes
which is
sense.
really smart. It
Yeah.
also, because he asked the internet, he was like,
Wow.
what do you think the reason is for planting that there? And some people said shade, and he said it's less about the shade and more about the wind, because we don't want them to prematurely drop their flowers, so we'll get a higher yield out of them that way, which I thought was really interesting. I also like to do tomatoes, basil, and peppers together, with marigolds and nasturtiums planted at the base, not like a vining nasturtium, but more of a mounding type. Onions and carrots do great under there as well. And another favorite of mine to do is I like to plant bell peppers underneath my okra plants because the bell peppers are a more delicate pepper and they also require some shade because they get scalded very easily. And the okra plants help to shade them out and kind of protect from the sun. And they get a lot taller than the bell pepper plants do. So I like to kind of plant those dudes together.
Yeah, Blue Sage was asking about basil. Your Thai basil and
Yeah.
your holy basil and stuff like that are gonna be more heat tolerant.
Yeah.
They're gonna go to seed and flower, but I mean, I kind of grow them more for that than the basil himself. I usually have my basil and stuff for the pollinators. Like your Genovese basil is kind of gonna go
Mm-hmm.
to seed really quick, and you're not gonna get much out of it. Honestly, it's just gonna be really smell. It's gonna smell really good, but your basil's gonna taste kind of bitter. Um,
Yeah. I also like to keep my Italian sweet basil in with my tomato plants because it gets to be a really nice big plant. And that kind of keeps the roots cool for the tomato plants and keeps a little moisture down there. But a good thing to remember is that if you are planting a row of tomatoes with basil, I try to keep my basil plants together the same variety. So, like maybe one row I would have, like a Thai basil in that row, but in another row I might have just my sweet basil so they don't like cross pollinate and we don't get like weird basil flavors. But that's just
yeah.
me. But I also, just like Destin, I like to grow a lot of Thai basil, especially and blue spice basil because it flowers out and the bees go wild for it.
The only problem is it drops seeds. Well, for me, it's a problem because it's getting like
I
a
love it.
gravel. It's in
I just
my
pick
pea
that up and
gravel and
plant it
stuff.
somewhere else.
It's just popping.
Plant it.
It's growing like grass in my freaking. I had to use some stuff in my gravel the other day. I wasn't happy about it, but I had to. But like, yeah, I won't put my Thai basil and stuff in around the gravel or in a raised bed anymore. I'll put it like in a pot or something like that, separate,
Mm,
But it drops those little tiny seeds everywhere. I cannot get basil
I
to
love
start on
that.
my own. I can get the plant and it drops seed and they grow on their own, but I could not grow it from seed to save my life. But it can get everywhere. Strawberries and asparagus are a good one that people put in beds
Oh yeah.
together because
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
especially because perennial beds. So I'm trying to do my strawberries as perennials now. So I got a really shady
Mm-hmm.
bed, and I'm got the strawberries growing in there, and I'm waiting on my crowns to come in from Haas, and I'm gonna plant the crowns intertween the strawberries, and when it gets real hot and the strawberry crowns kind of die back, the asparagus is kind of act as like a shade, and it's gonna grow it. So by the time the asparagus is dying back, strawberries will hopefully come back. So they kind of take turns.
Yeah.
Very
Because
cool.
the asparagus will take over during the summer and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about that.
Absolutely.
I'm not the biggest asparagus eater, but if I'm gonna grow them, I'll eat it. So
Yeah.
best nursery in Houston. Best nursery in Houston. Can't go wrong with either Enchanted Gardens, Enchanted Forest. If you want to go a little bit south, go to Jorge's Hidden.
Yes, Jorge's Hidden Gardens.
Buchanan's is pretty awesome downtown. There's a bunch of Cactus King if you want to get weird. The Cactus King is like It's like a bit of a horror show slash. It's like the Rocky Horror Picture Show made a cactus nursery.
Oh my
it's
gosh.
weird. I did a whole video tour on it. It freaked me out, man. Especially because there was no one working there hardly, and like I was like, "Am I going to get murdered here?" Yeah, but it was cool.
I want to go to a weird place.
We should definitely go when next time y'all come down. We should go to the Cactus Cave. It's pretty slick. It's pretty cool. Let's see. All right, Big O, thanks for hanging out. Let's see.
Thanks, Big O.
I've never been to Plants for All Seasons. I've never been to Plants for All Seasons. Houston, Katie, Fred Reyes is out in Simonton, Texas. That's out towards the west side. I was out there last weekend. Really cool place. Let's see. I have lavender. Someone's asking about lavender. Who has lavender in your yard? I have lavender right now. Do you, Des, you grow lavender? You have good. You really should have good luck with lavender since it's so dry.
So part of my problem is that I haven't found the perfect spot for it in the yard yet. Because I've tried it a couple of times at the very end of my watering line, but it didn't get enough sun there. Now that this tree in my neighbor's yard has gotten mature enough. And then my main annual pollinator garden is right by the house, which gets the most sun, which would be a really good spot for it because it's a really dry, hot area. But I can't do it. So maybe we'll find a good spot for some lavender while Destin is here. But currently I would like to grow as much rosemary as I can. So I'm water propagating some rosemary in my window, and I keep going out and taking more sprigs to do that.
Yeah, my thing, after listening to Tracy give me that tip why mine died. It's because I was overwatering. I'm told they do really well in containers, especially since over here we get a lot of rain, so it would drown if I don't keep it in like really good draining soil. So I'm gonna do my lavender like I did my rosemary, keep it in a container, keep it in a sunny spot, and water it like a couple times a week, maybe once a week, and let it drain completely before it gets watered the next time. Because I love with water. Everybody likes to love, water is love, but it's not always the case.
That's a good reminder for sure, especially citrus too for me.
Yes, you don't want to drown those babes.
Phil,
I had a question.
Are you a marigold guy? You like marigolds, dude?
In that trio, I've always used them because they bring in the good pollinators and keep out the bad bugs.
They must last longer up here.
They do. Same, I like hearing about my strawberries. They just hang out.
Yeah,
year round. Yeah,
because you're growing.
They're creeping out. They're creeping out into the sides too. We get hot, high 90s. Not Texas hot. I didn't know Texas hot was Texas hot till I went to Texas, and I was like, "Oh, in October. Dang!" In October, and I was like, "Great," but hearing we don't really hit that 100 marker. So
17 with the heat index. Down here in Austin.
My greenhouse was 120 the other day when I came home. I usually the plastic is going to come off Sunday when I get home. I think I'm gonna take the plastic off. It's already getting too hot and it's too much to manage. Usually what I do is I leave it closed all night. When I come home for lunch, I open it up, because my door has a window and I kind of it's a storm door, and so it allows for a little bit of ventilation. But it gets hot in there quick, man, really hot.
Yeah, mine's getting really hot too. My baby figs are getting stressed, and I'm I had the extra panels on top that I retrofitted. I got to pull those off because it's just getting warm now, and that's awesome. But no, I don't get quite that hot, so my strawberries make it, and they're just sprawling out underneath my gardenia. They're starting to sprawl out sideways. So I kind of want them to take over, kind of keep spreading, so I can get a nice little harvest of them. So we'll see.
Des, have you had much, or have either of you had much luck propagating rosemary? I'm new to it. I've attempted it several times. I did it over winter in the greenhouse, and I can't see how they're doing. I'm gonna find out. I don't know if is it one of those things they do better over winter or over summer. I don't know.
Well, I'm water propagating mine. I have them in the kitchen windowsill. That's a north-facing window, and I change the water out every other day, and especially if it gets cloudy. And I've got so many roots growing.
So I watched a video on water propagating, and I was always told if you're going to water propagate to change that water out. But
Yeah.
I watched some video, and they were saying, and this may be total BS, but they said whenever you water propagate, the slime that the plant sends out is actually like the plant's like system telling it to like it puts out its own rooting hormone is what it was saying.
I suppose it can, but also you want to be careful because if it's a cutting in particular, if it starts to release any sort of ethylene, which is the I'm dying hormone, I am dying chemical, it will actually just cause it to die off. So when you first got it going and you're not quite seeing roots yet, you want to keep rinsing that water out to make sure that it doesn't get too slimy. It's not necessarily rooting hormones. Sometimes it could be plant cell death, and then you won't have a successful water propagation. So just be careful about that. Make sure you don't have any leaves in the water.
It's just an interesting video. I was like, I've never heard anybody say it before. It was weird.
Yeah, I mean, I've got, it just depends too on the plant, really, because I've got some plants that they'll slime up their water. The water won't be perfectly clear, and they're doing fine.
Especially
they'll grow algae in there, and they seem happy about it. You know, before we had our snap freeze, I took a cutting off of my black and blue salvia out there, and that sucker is rooted so hard. It looks so good. And I am really happy because I have not seen any new growth off of the mother plant yet this year, which is unusual. And I think it's because it budded out again. We had a freeze, it budded out again. We had a freeze. And so I'm all a little worried about it.
Yeah.
She'll be fine. We dug her up with a backhoe and moved her from one location to the other, and she did great. So hopefully she's good,
But you have pretty good success when you do it in water, though, huh?
Yes, I do actually. The roots there's so many different nodes because of especially with rosemary in particular. There are so many nodes for the leaves because it has so many leaves on it that it's just got so many opportunities to, grow, root out, and it does great. You just need to rinse, like wash, refill the water frequently. Yeah. Words don't work.
Let's see. No, that's a good point. I'm going to try it again in the spring. I did that video, and hopefully someone took off. Was that plumeria repotted from the depths of your greenhouse? No, that giant one I have, I was too scared to leave it in the greenhouse. I put it in my garage, and it did amazing. It barely even went dormant in my garage. There was enough residual light from the grow lights. It hardly even went dormant. Wow. Jamie saying, my tomatoes love the compost tea I make. The 5-gallon bucket, earthworm castings, molasses, and an aquarium bubbler. I do 2 waterings, once in the morning and then at sundown, a sprinkle. So I've seen people do like the compost tea with like the bubbler and the brewer. Have y'all ever messed with Phil? Have you ever done that before? Like
I haven't done it, but when I was in grad school, there's a really cool little nifty gardening store that I really like the guy. And this is back in the day when like Ocean Earth was like $15 a bag,
Yeah.
And I'd go there and buy bags of that, and he had a bubbler, and he's like, "You want some?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I would just go in all the time, grab some dirt, and grab like a whole jug. He's like, "Just bring a jug," and I did it. And I did it for all my balcony beds, and it was awesome. The stuff they loved it, but it seems complex. I wasn't ready to invest in nerding out with any of that quite yet.
I've seen people make DIY ones. Farmer Froberg used to have one at the old place he worked at, and it was like an upside down like 5-gallon or 10-gallon like water jug, and it had like one of those bubblers in it, and then a spigot at the bottom where you could kind of fill it, or you could even put it in line to where it would like water a little bit, add a little bit to your irrigation.
Yeah, because you want it to whirlpool so you can get it all mixed together and everything's in suspension. I did though I was doing my figs loved it, the worm compost tea, so worm castings. And I would just make compost tea out of that, and I could use it like 20 times over, and it was like perfect.
Wow,
my figs loved it.
I love it.
Let's see.
It is raining so hard here right now, and I love it. It's what a gift. Sorry,
that's good.
I just have to tell you guys, it's what a gift.
So I don't use fish fertilizer, Keith. It stinks. It freaking stinks.
But it stinks. Like I have a hard time with it in my greenhouse.
Yeah, the stuff that I do use mostly is like Microlife Ocean Harvest. It has fish in it, has seaweed, and it's like that in it, but it's cooked down enough where it doesn't stink it doesn't like stink like that. The stinkiest thing I use is neem oil. That stuff stinks.
Oh, I do not like neem oil. I'm sorry. I know that you like it. I can't. I don't like it.
It's not that I like it. Is that I use it for it's something I use in the garden. I don't like it. Yeah, fish emulsion is stinky.
Bow tie, yes, a huge nitrogen boost for the garden for sure. Big. Sometimes you got to be careful about. I learned that you really have to be careful about how much nitrogen you're adding into your vegetable garden because it can sometimes attract mealybugs.
Oh, it can?
Yes.
Well, and also
and aphids.
Also, you want to switch it up too, because like I was using a higher nitrogen liquid fertilizer for a long time, and I was getting really leafy, big giant green tomato plants, but I wasn't getting any
tomatoes. They will not set fruit.
Like,
if you're only putting out nitrogen, you're only going to get a leafy green. So you got the NPK, nitrogen's for green growth, phosphorus is for like root growth and like flowers, and then potassium is overall plant health, and so like I switch it up. I'll usually rotate. 1 week I'll do like the fish, which is like a nitrogen, and then I'll switch it up to like a phosphorus one, like a blooming one, like rotate them weekly. And it usually helps. And if you want to get more strawberries, Farmer Froberg was telling me to give literally liquid fertilizer to my strawberries literally every time I watered them.
Oh
wow.
Yeah, he was saying if you can just, because I think they put it in their drip.
Yeah, he's got such an operation going on out there.
Oh my God, it's so much fun.
I was texting him earlier today, asking him dumb questions. At Lowe's.
Yeah, he called me and asked me if I wanted some watermelons, like some watermelon plants, and I was like, dude, where am I gonna put them, man?
You're like, no,
this is what I'm saying. On your roof of your house,
just down the road to your house.
You're gonna have this like nice terra level, like.
Well, he said he had extra, and I was like, well, how many extra do you have? He's like, 500. I'm like, oh my God. Well, because like you get like plus or minus in case like you lose some, and he had a lot extra.
Does he not? Does the farm not do like plant sales and stuff?
They can't sell. They can't sell these.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't have any room for watermelons either.
I
do, but I don't.
Maybe later in the summer I'm gonna try to do some melons. Once my garlic and everything, like I did not. I will never go do as much garlic as I did this year. I don't want to pull it up yet. I could just start pulling stuff up. I got like a 20-foot bed full of garlic.
Goodness.
But I've got the other one in my greenhouse that once I open the greenhouse, I'll have more space. But it's just right now I'm running out of room because not every part of my garden gets full sun or gets sun at all. So.
I'm gonna start sending you land on Zillow just to like. What about this one?
Send it to me as well because I keep telling Jeremy I need like a couple acres. I can't live like this anymore.
My dad's already on me. He's like, my dad's getting ready to retire and. He's getting older,
he's
and
got a whole house.
Yeah, he's got a lot of land, and he's getting older. He's gonna need help working cows and stuff. And he's like, you just buy 10 acres over here. I'm like, oh.
Dad, just give me the acres.
No, my dad ain't gonna give me nothing, but I'd probably get the best deal from him though.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me buy you out of some of those acres.
Let's see. Is that right? If you cut all the leaves off your tomato plant, then you will get a lot of big tomatoes.
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think you want to.
You're causing stress to your plant.
Yeah.
Well, and somebody made a comment on one of my videos the other day when I talked about planting my tomatoes deep. I pruned the leaves. I pruned some of the leaves off and planted them deep, and leave some leaves poking out. And they're like, "Don't do this. It stunts the growth." And like, well. No, it doesn't stunt the growth. It focuses on roots, which is the most important thing, and then starts putting energy up. So, like, it does slow down the up growth, but it increases the root growth. Is what's more important.
I mean, also, good rule of thumb is like anytime you're pruning anything, don't remove more than 1/3 of the plant at any given time. And make sure that if you're doing it on the hottest part of the days, or don't do it on the hottest part of the days, like give your plant time to recover. So do it early in the morning or in the evening, so they can chill out in between. But I don't think you need to prune your tomato plants that hard. Some people like to have little sticky tomato plants, but not me.
I prune them up.
I do
You know, like
too.
6 to 8 inches, and then I let them kind of do their things. I mean, you can top tomatoes too. If they
Yeah,
get
I
too
like to
crazy.
keep leaves off of the soil is very important.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good reminder.
Bowtie was asking about asparagus. I'm new to asparagus. I don't know that much. My dad grows his in full sun. I don't have the ability to be too picky with it. I've got some coming in from Haas, and so I'm probably going to put them in that strawberry bed that doesn't get a ton of sun. So they may not do that well, but you never know until you try. We'll see what happens.
I do part sun.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
go fine.
I'm limited.
Mine are young though, so
Let's see. Bowtie said I just dumped a bunch of fish emulsion on 19 overwintered chili peppers. I just returned.
oh boy, I bet it smells delightful out there.
Yeah.
Well,
Can you put too much worm castings in a pot? I mean, I don't think so. I mean,
how much do you have? Because it can get pricey. So I would.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say no, but if you a little goes a long way because of that stuff's like a liquid or a little soil multivitamin.
Like 5-10%, 5-10% maybe. I would say, like with my soil blocks, like for like as much soil as I was using, about maybe 10% worm castings. It really helps out with seedlings. Adding it to your soil seed starting mix, I really saw a difference in those soil blocks. It was nice. It was, and it's not going to burn anything up either. Like I don't typically put any fertilizer on my seed starts or anything like that, but adding the worm castings made a big difference.
Yes, they do. They're very gentle.
Yeah, lots of trellising plans for my bed. Yeah, I mean, Phil, are you adding any trellises? Y'all both have big backyards.
Oh my gosh!
I need to just like run over to Tractor Supply and grab some cattle panels so I can do it, and just do the archway because I have those 2 nice beds, and I have the capacity for it. Like I was just like walking around my garden today, and I was like, I could add like 15 more beds, and it would still like I'd still have a yard.
Pace yourself, dude. Pace yourself.
I will over time, but you want the organicness of your garden to unfold as you pay attention to it. And I just got a new peach tree that I'm really excited about. So I got to figure out how to. That's really thinking outside the box. I'm like, okay, 10 by 12. It's like you're out there trying to measure it all out, right?
Yeah. I love your little Spider-Man.
Oh, my Spider-Man. We're having a day.
It reminds me of like my friend Rachel, her son. They work out at Fred Reyes, or they're the owners of Fred Reyes over there in Simonton. And I was out there this weekend, and I guess he's 18, 19, 20, whatever now. And he's like he's getting all sleeved up and everything. And I'm like, man, it drives me nuts when people like turn 18 and they get like covered in like tattoos. Like Post Malone's like 32, and he's like almost 90% covered in tattoos.
I'll leave Post alone. He's his own creature.
But like, you know, I feel like
true.
I feel like your tattoos should tell a story over time. Like you should accumulate. You shouldn't like, and I would feel the same way with people who like get their backyard and completely fill it up like their first year with beds. Like, you know, they don't see what does best, you know, in their yard first. You know, like it makes sense to kind of go a little bit over time.
Yeah. I want back to your question about going more trellising. Whoever asked that, anyway.
Yes, yeah.
I want to do some trellising that's like overhead trellising, like you see in like Taiwanese and Vietnamese gardens.
Yeah,
because I think that could be very, 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 very beneficial for me in my microclimate that I'm growing in. And then I could grow melons and things overhead, and they would just dangle through the mesh. But I just don't even know what you call that, or even how to get the materials, or like how to get started with that.
I would look at what Anthony, the millennial gardener, just did. He literally just built like a carport structure over his garden. Like
Oh,
it's
Yeah.
he
yeah,
kind
I
of
need to go
framed
look at that.
he kind of framed it out. And I think
Yeah.
I haven't seen his follow up, but I think he's adding like cattle panels and like shade cloth and stuff so he can extend his season. But like
Good.
basically like from the center of his garden, he started just adding posts and like making like framing so that he can add shade cloth here, add panel there, and it's really cool. If I had the ability to do that, I would love to do that.
When you see the garden, and I'm going to be sharing this stuff too, because I am going to have to figure out how to get a shade structure up over my plants, but also have my, just my Florida weave option going for my tomato plants.
Yeah.
So we're going to be on a journey, and I'm going to be trying to figure out the best way to shade and also get more vertical in my garden in spots for shade. But with growing things, I want to maximize my growing space.
Well, my old greenhouse is fantastic for that. My old greenhouse, it's a 15 by 7.
Yeah.
And I thought about cutting it up in sections
Mm-hmm.
and adding like little arches in some places and like
Yeah.
putting them like all on the south end of the yard to
Yeah.
add some shade here and there. Because you can buy the little sections. So maybe even getting like a cheap, like maybe even going on like Craigslist and finding some arches.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can find the greenhouse like arches just on like Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace and just throw a couple of them up, add some shade, and you're good to go.
Yes, and Bowtie says you've got to go cattle panel arches. They do great shade, and yes, you're correct. They do, but I also just have to figure out. I need them to be pretty tall. I want to get some stuff 10 foot in the air.
Yeah, I would love if I could. Jorge had some extra frames, like extra arches, and I would have loved to just like put 2 arches together. Like just put 2 arches, 2 or 3 arches, and then be able to add shade here, take it off here, And if you want to, you could wall the whole thing off,
Wow, yeah.
For the over winter. So you could do some wild stuff and just, no one's going to question you. You can get an HOA. You're good to go.
Yeah, no, I can do whatever I want. Actually, I got chickens. I could have a goat if I want. I could have I could have bees if I want.
Squirrel sanctuary.
Yeah, guys, I did not get a video of him, but I'm going to. So today I made a new squirrel friend. He's a young boy.
That's nuts.
He looks streetwise already because he's got a notch out of one of his ears. But he's so sweet, and I know he's one of Mama Squirrel's kids. I'm like, I can tell that's your mama. You're so sweet. So anyway, we're gonna have a video about that.
Lester, the streetwise squirrel.
I hope that I can introduce Destin to my squirrel.
I'm not touching your rats.
You don't have to touch her, but you can meet her.
Yeah, we'll have coffee. I mean, I'm not saying anything's gonna happen,
I'm not opening a roly-poly sanctuary.
Oh my god.
You already did.
Can we sell those things on the black market or something?
Let's see. Passion fruit. I have.
Yes.
So I do. Well,
passion
it's Maypop, and
yes,
it's coming up, and I didn't think it was going to, and so it's like,
when
you look at, when you look at Step Brothers, and he looks at the drum set, and you're like, da 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 da. That's what I see when I see my little Maypop coming up. It's like da 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 da. So
Blue Sage has the best names for things. I'm so sorry. She named
Nacho.
She just named this squirrel Nacho. That's so cute.
That's fantastic. That is
Nacho.
Yes.
Phil, I wanted to say something about what you said, and then
passion fruit.
Passion fruit. Okay,
coming up.
Passion.
So I'm kind of wondering if I'm going to pull up.
It's not how you say.
I'm wondering if I'm going to go out there and pull up all the passion vine that's popped up in all the rocks and everywhere right now, because mine is coming back with a vengeance at the moment. Or if I'm just going to let Destin come and stand in front of the consequences of my actions and really get a feel for what I have growing on back there, because this thing is It's made
Just for
it
the
like a quarter
perspective.
of the way across the yard. It is absolutely insane. I planted the most invasive one, and I also thought it was not going to come up, and I was like, oh, good. It didn't make it, but no, it literally did. And I planted the deadest sprig you've ever seen of that. And then a snowstorm happened, and I thought, there's no way. But they don't call it Passiflora incarnata for no reason, you know?
Passiflora incarnata.
I did think of that when you said that. I was like, oh, it could be.
I made the correct decision in planting it pots, so they died deader than the doornail. So I'm okay with that, and I will throw the soil into the trash can so that it doesn't get recycled and pop up in every single planter.
Well, I'll let you just pull some up out of the ground if you want.
No, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good. Well, you know, it didn't do well for me. I don't have the space for it, and
The flowers are too cool looking.
I never got any flowers. Or any fruit.
Yeah.
So I was strategic with mine, and I set it up so my side entrance has, when you open up my side door on the far side of my house, it has a nice little trellis that goes around the entryway. And so I'm going to let it just work its way up, go across there. Because I was on the fence between that or getting a kiwi bundle and having a male and female kiwi go up and do the same thing.
Kiwi or kiwi berry?
Kiwi. Fuzzy kiwi grows here. And
I love that. I love kiwi.
Because there is a kiwi berry that grows like a vine, and there's a male and a female as well.
Well, there's different types of kiwis too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's not just a fuzzy kiwi. You get like those hardy kiwi varieties.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they're like smaller. But I guess fuzzy kiwi survives here because one of my good friends here, her next door neighbor, has the biggest vine that's just over her whole shed, and all these kiwis just hang down from it constantly. So I'll have to take pictures, and when you guys come here, I'll show you. But it's insane. So I kind of was thinking about that, but that's really big. So I'm going to start with Maypop. If it doesn't work out, I don't get the help with any. What are those butterflies that like to go towards it, Des, or those moths?
Gulf fritillaries.
Yeah,
the Gulf fritillary butterfly.
I want to do some of that. So
I was going to say also, I see over here that Bowtie is talking to Keith about, I want passion fruit and got to figure out what kind to get. And I just want to reiterate how invasive some of them are. And especially in Florida, I've seen them grow giant telephone poles in the tallest trees you've ever seen. And they are insane.
In Florida or Florida?
Florida. In Florida. But they get so big, and don't regret planting it. Because it's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. But
Florida boys, they go nuts.
But you can get native, like I think I got the native North Carolinian one.
Yes, there are native passion flowers. So just check and see. The native ones, I think you have to, maybe they do better by division, and you can't propagate them just by throwing them in dirt. But they're not as invasive for sure.
I went a different route this year. I planted more native. I
love it.
More native milkweed. I went with more native milkweed, and it's coming back. It died back, and it come back from like the root ball. It's pretty wild. The swampy milkweed. Someone's asking about peanuts. You ever grow peanuts before? It's not Snoopy, not Charlie Brown, but like peanuts.
I have.
Yeah, I have not. Mm-hmm. The process seems fascinating now.
It's like they grow like peas, kind of.
Well, they actually grow below the ground. They're like legumes, so it's like a creeping like vine, and then it spiders down under the ground everywhere the plant touches. It has like yellow flowers above the ground, and then it puts the legumes underneath the ground, and then you dig the plant up, and then the peanuts are hanging underneath all the foliage.
I was saying the top kind of looks like peas, like the
it does.
Yeah, I mean, technically they're both legumes. So I mean, I guess it makes sense that.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Mama Squirrel over here plants them everywhere. I got them all over the place. You know.
I say you probably haven't come up voluntarily.
Yeah, she's a farmer.
They come pre-salted.
Farmer Squirrel does a great job out there.
Loofah. We're doing any loofah this year.
I'm not doing.
I am not. I don't have space for it, but I love that.
I'll just watch Jeremy. I like Jeremy's loofah.
Yeah. Stay
Yeah.
tuned to
Dirty
Dirty Punk
Pigs.
Gardening for all your loofah footage.
I liked watching him peel that green one the other day.
And the guy from Baker Creek, he loves
Oh,
his
yeah.
loofahs.
Yeah, loofah are
Dude,
great.
hey,
You
guess
can
what?
eat them when they're small.
I didn't realize he follows me. His personal account. He followed me, and I followed
Yeah,
him
me
back. I was
too.
like, "What?" I was like,
He
"Whoa!"
follows me too, yeah.
I was like, "Oh my
He
god,
knows.
I'm sorry for calling you the Baker Creek Hobo." I was just kidding, dude. He was over there at like some festival in Austin over there at the permaculture place. I'll share the link with you. Well, they know they're hippies. They don't care.
Yeah.
But you probably know what I'm talking about. He was at some place over there, like in the Austin area.
Who was?
Recently, I'll share with you.
Oh,
Because
he
they
was
reached
probably
out.
at the Natural Gardener.
No, it was like at a I was calling it a hippie commune, but like I'll share it with you. It's
Like an
I'll share
ashram or
the
something? Send that to me.
no, not like that. But I'll share it with you. No,
What planet am I on? I don't know.
it's just some hippies.
Planet Des.
Yes, I'll share with you afterwards. But like, yeah, it was they seem nice. They seem like the good hippies.
Yeah. I didn't know there were any bad ones necessarily.
There are evil hippies. There are evil hippies out there.
Are they hippies then? What is it? This is like the peace symbol, right?
I know. It's about the peace, love, and
Oh my god. Someone was asking about blueberries. I thought my blueberries were dead. I thought my blueberries were toast. Now they're all coming back like crazy.
Oh,
I don't have the
They're doing
time.
really well.
I put in like 8. I have
Really?
8 blueberry plants.
I bet they love it in your neck of the woods.
They love it here. There's a
Isn't the
lot
blueberry
of
capital?
blueberries. Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
huge, like NC State has a big blueberry program
Oh, amazing.
here. So hit up the blueberries. I mean, blueberries, strawberries. If you're not near like there's a fair amount of acidic soil here in North Carolina. What are you laughing at the picture?
I'm gonna show y'all what this thing looks like.
No.
God.
Texas Broski, it's hard to answer your question looking at your picture.
Oh, I love it. Oh my god. I love that guy too. It's like crazy eyes.
Oh my god.
We gotta bring up the vibrating bee to speak of. It's for pollinating.
There we go. Bird Isle Foods Farm.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yes, they are hippies. They're very nice. They've reached out.
This is what that thing looks like.
Thank God. Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That's what it looks like.
Buzz.
It's perfectly PG. I mean, you can do a lot of things. I don't know what that's for.
It's for pollinating plants. Look at that. Duh.
I mean,
they even have a picture with tomato plants and everything.
Is that Oral-B or is it Phillips?
at the end of the day, aren't we all bees trying to pollinate flowers? I mean, that's just what that's what it's all about. Phil knows what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. I'm done pollinating plants.
Someone took your batteries out. You can't buzz no more.
No.
We have a huge wild rabbit infestation here, so I had to switch that in. Yeah, there's a couple options you could have, Jamie. I said this when I said this last week. I thought Joe Gardner's heart dropped. But that guy in where my wife lives, he had the voles eating his. I didn't know they'd even eat like garlic or onions or whatever. But he put juicy fruit at the edge of their hole.
Yeah,
and he ate that. I thought Joe was like, oh my god, it's so terrible. Just like roly-polies, voles are not endangered species either. I mean, you can try juicy fruit with the rabbits too. It might work. I don't know.
Listen, each
you
one
can
of
eat
us have
you
our
can eat
own
rabbit.
special variety of pests that are the bane of our existence in our little ecosystem. And
it's
for me,
a war, not a battle.
It's roly-polies. I love them too, though. I always tell them, guys, you look so cute. You look like something out of Hayao Miyazaki's films. But same time, please stop eating.
Was that a word? What did you just say just then?
Hayao Miyazaki is one of the best filmmakers of all time. Animated movies. He did Princess Mononoke, Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle. I'm not kidding. You got to watch these things.
Did he do The Last
Valley of the
Airbender?
Wind. He did not. He did not.
See, I don't know
But
this.
your kids would love Hayao Miyazaki.
It's
Especially
not
like
about with
Howl's
hippies.
Moving Castle and Nausicaa in the Valley
They
of the
do
Wind.
love Raya, and
Yeah.
they have a roly-poly creature in it that's like 30 feet long,
Ooh.
and they ride it.
In Nausicaa in the Valley of the Wind, they have these huge ohms that are literally like giant roly-polies.
Oh.
They're cool looking. I love them.
What does an evil hippie look like? I don't know how to describe it, but I know it when I see one. Hey, man.
Hey, nothing wrong with like there's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with that?
Exactly. If you gotta visualize it to make
Listen,
it real.
man. I'm sure I should take as many pictures of hippies as I think I see this week. Let's go hippie watching. Let's see. I just planted my raised bed, and we are getting a lot of rain here in San Antonio. It's got me worried about plants. No, don't worry. As the wind, I would worry about wind, but rain is the best thing for plants.
Yeah, rain. Soak it up, because I think San Antonio is a place that doesn't get a lot of rain.
100%. It's like Austin.
Yeah. San Antonio's been getting a little bit more rain than we have the last couple of years, which is super weird.
Wow. One time I sat next to David Robinson on an airplane. That was pretty cool.
David Robinson, the Spurs guy, the basketball player?
The basketball player. And
He's
I was like
8 feet
10.
tall, isn't he?
And he was like 10 feet tall.
Dang.
When you're 10 years old, it seems like 10 feet tall.
Evil hippie, boom, Charles Manson.
Oh, you're so right. You are so right. That one I will give you. That one is correct.
He was a nice guy until
Good job, Angela.
He was a nice guy until they MK Ultra'd him.
Troy says, Des, you are definitely an Austinite. Yes, I claim that. Thank you.
Is it Austinite or Austinian?
Austinite.
Yeah, David Robinson. He's 6'10", I think. But yeah, 7 feet.
We keep it weird.
Anytime I think of Austin, I think of road trip. Yeah, Austin, Massachusetts. Like Tom Green. Do you mean Boston? Yeah. I haven't seen that movie in forever. I have a memory of that movie. My dad would work nights. He would work nights all the time. So whenever we get home from school, he'd be able to sit on the couch, like just waking up. And I remember my dad. I remember my dad sitting on the couch in his underwear, like tidy whities, just laughing his ass off the road trip, like just hysterically as he walked in the house. My dad, if you want to look at what my dad looks like, he looks like me without a beard. So it's just,
I love it.
Image.
I'm gonna expect a text message with the picture of you and your dad soon.
Oh, he's lost a lot of weight, so he looks good now. He looks
both
good.
of you look great.
His nickname at work is Big Sexy.
I love it.
But sexy is an attitude. It's not necessarily a look. It's like an evil hippie. You don't know what it is until you see it.
It's a brand. It's a brand.
Yeah.
Let's see. For rabbits and squirrels, my grandma used to use pie pans to stakes and hung throughout the garden. The clang noises. Yeah, they'll keep me up all night, Ron.
I love it.
It keep me up.
Would not keep everyone in my neighborhood awake.
Someone was saying no mint in the soil. I keep my mint in pots because it spreads.
That spreads like crazy. It spread when I lived in Boston. It just grew out around the edges of our garden. So
absolutely. Some people don't mind it like running all over their yard and stuff. Maybe if I had a big property, I wouldn't care if I didn't have a neighbor right next to me, but I like my neighbors and I want them to like me, so I don't plant mint in the ground. That's dangerous.
Basil is in the mint family.
I know it. I love basil. But it doesn't have a tendency to shoot underground runners out and take over the neighborhood.
Well, and mine dies back really hard and like it's really hot and it comes back in the spring. So it looks black and dead for like 4 months out of the year.
Same.
But it always comes back.
Mine's coming back really nicely.
It's getting to be Phil's bedtime, so we'll finish it up with the final round table. 3 people enter, 3 people leave. Phil, what are you planting in the garden this week, dude?
Oh my gosh, I am chipping away at my fig cuttings. But guess what comes on Friday? Wilmington Compost Company is dumping 12 cubic yards of
Oh
compost.
man, that's so much compost. That's awesome. Black gold.
Because
That's
you
a
know
lot of work.
what? I have a whole side of my house of where grass just kept growing over it, and I needed to just create a nice bed for all those fruit trees and then put stuff underneath them. And then same on the other side of another chunk. And then I want to fully, so when the raised beds that everyone knows before, those two big long front ones, that a lot of that was like potting mix that it's getting to the end of its lifespan. So I need to like revamp it. I might mix it with some topsoil and get a nice hardy bed system going with that. And then I'm going to stockpile the rest of the compost in the back to make my own potting mix with throughout the year or two. And so my big load's coming. Shout out to Riley and the Wilmington Compost Company team. They're awesome. They make really great stuff. So I'm stoked to work with them.
How do you keep like neighborhood cats from using like your giant pile of soil? Like, do you
We
put a
have
tarp over it?
foxes and coyotes that eat neighborhood cats.
Yeah, that could be a good way.
Hey, well, we could be like Australia. We could just introduce foxes, everywhere. So,
we have beautiful red foxes here, and we have these very healthy coyotes that pop up once in a while. And I got the fattest possum that just waddles around sometimes in the wintertime.
So cute. Oh, I love them. I love them.
I love possums, dude. My feed is full of possums. My feed is full of possums. So that's exciting, dude. Wilmington Greenhouse Hobby Club. What is it? Hobby Greenhouse Club?
Oh, the Hobby Greenhouse Club is coming up in April. It's the first weekend in April. It's also the same weekend as the Wilmington Azalea Festival. And it's also the same weekend as Poplar Grove plant sale. So lots of plants popping in spring and April here. It's an awesome time.
So you got some events coming up then.
I am speaking to the Brunswick County or the Brunswick Gardening Club at Brunswick County Community College in May. So I get to talk about figs. So it's pretty easy to do. I'm getting my I'm getting my presentation, non-PowerPoint presentation dialed in on figs. So that's been really fun. So I like doing a presentation without slides and then seeing the engagement with the audience. That's how I know I've really obsessed over figs.
I can't stop yawning.
Dude. Well, and you can follow Phil at Phil's Figs. Make sure to get follow Phil's Figs. Guess what? We hit 25,000. I hit 25,000 today on YouTube. Yeah, we're celebrating this weekend.
Yay, congratulations. Yeah, we're gonna go get a special beer.
I can't celebrate again until 50,000. I can't celebrate again until 50,000. I celebrate every day, but
25,000 is a huge milestone.
Yeah, some people like Farmer Froberg just get it overnight.
Yeah. I don't know what he does. It's his charisma or something.
He's very handsome. I'll give him that.
Okay, yeah.
Let's see. Any tips for locating free compost? I would. Sometimes the city compost is not the best compost because I would avoid free. Nothing free is typically that great. Be careful with stuff like that because they could be mixing in a lot of different things.
The Dillo.
Yeah, don't get me started on Dillo dirt.
That Dillo dirt.
I'll get going and I won't quit.
Doo-doo dirt.
It makes my Texan come out. Don't do it.
Yeah, get that muscle.
My Wichita Falls gets to showing.
Yeah, you can make your own compost. I mean, but I would go with I'd go and the compost is typically not that expensive unless you get mushroom compost like that. But Des, stop freaking yawning.
I guarantee y'all this is not boring. I've just been listen, I've been setting my alarm. Okay, this is true. I've been setting my alarm to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. So that way by the time dawn hits, I can go outside and work in the garden. And I have been absolutely going out there.
Who is Dawn?
Shoveling
why is
dirt.
She hitting you?
Huh?
Who's Dawn and why is she hitting you?
Oh, hush.
Is that a homeless lady in your neighborhood?
Rude. But I've been going out there and I've been shoveling dirt before I go and stand on my feet all day and do hair. And so I'm just really tired, to be honest. And I've also been in a Rosti for the last couple of weeks about my pinched nerve in my neck that I have. And so like that's got me all like feeling, it's a whole thing, you know. The time change messed me up. So I really don't have a lot of time to get my vegetable garden going from the state it's currently in. Good grief. And so I have to do it in the morning. And then if I'm home in daylight hours, I'm doing it in the evening as well. And that's just the way we're going to have to do it until we get it done.
Guys, I texted the group. Yeah. I got a Ladbrook soil blocker.
I saw that
and
picture.
I did it yesterday. And those it's dope. And it's so much more fun. Like, and like, I don't have to buy seed trays again. That's crazy.
It's a good picture too. Yeah.
It's fun, dude. And you get the consistency right.
Yeah.
You know?
So I got my narrow eggplants. I got, what else did I put in there? Okra. And okra, eggplants, and I put one other thing in there. It's gonna be a surprise.
I thought something was
no watermelon. It's watermelon.
Oh, watermelon. You got a big enough yard. You have a big enough yard for watermelon.
I'm gonna let it weave through all my fig trees in that where my orchard is, my micro orchard, and let all the watermelons just go out.
Susie, you're so right that gardening at first light is good for resetting your circadian rhythm. And I think that's why I'm so tired, like not far after dark right now. Yeah.
I'm hearing the June bugs hitting my window.
We had one flying in the kitchen day before yesterday.
Yeah. It's that time of that time of the year where I gotta like, I'm working in the garage, I gotta close the door right whenever it starts getting dark because they'll start flying in there. And yeah, but I can my lights here, I can hear them hitting the window. It's nuts.
Oh, don't feel shamed.
I will be with Des this weekend in Austin. We're gonna do all kinds of cool stuff. Like I say, if you want to, if you're in the Austin area, make sure to come out to the VFW thing on Saturday if you can. We're also me and Des are going to be at the Great Outdoors at 11 on Friday. I don't know what we're going to be doing, but we're not saying nothing official. You know, we'll be there.
You know what we're going to be doing? Plant shopping because you're going to be your mind is going to be blown by this place.
I'm not buying any native grasses, okay, Des? I mean,
dude, they have a huge tropical greenhouse.
I know.
Tons of natives and tons of succulents. It's just a really, really awesome place. They also have a parrot.
Oh, I like birds freak me out.
He says, "What's up, bro?" He's very cute.
That's awesome. I'm excited about that. So plenty of cool stuff from Austin this weekend, and we will have some of these stickers coming out soon. I will get these. I will get Vinyl Bandits to make these tomorrow.
I love them.
We'll do a square. Like cut a little bit out, or maybe I'll do a rectangle. We'll see.
Yeah. But
I'll get Vinyl Bandits to make some of these. But I will be with Des at the plant swap on Austin at the VFW. I'll have plants and soil, and I'm bringing Nelson Plant Food Genesis for me to sell as well. So that should be a good time. But make sure y'all come see us in Austin. Make sure you go follow Phil's Figs. Get in the 25,000. Get gardening with Des.
Yeah.
Wait for me to finish buffering, and then and I appreciate it so much, guys. Thank y'all for hanging out. Hope y'all enjoyed this episode, and we'll be back with some guests next week. But for this time, it was good just catching up with y'all. I'm glad we got to catch up.
Yes,
this was awesome.
So,
love it.
Thank y'all so much, and we'll see y'all next week.
Bye, everybody.